True success isn't merely about external accomplishments or wealth. It's about realizing the unique potential within you. It means becoming the fullest version of yourself, aligning your talents, passions, and actions in a way that brings meaning and impact to your life. When we talk about success, the conversation often drifts toward achievements, titles, money, recognition. But if we pause and really think about it, success at its core is something far deeper. It is the fulfillment of your potential. This idea is not merely motivational fluff and philosophical roots. To understand the purpose of life as success, we must first redefine what success truly means. It's not just about hitting external markers. It's about becoming who you were meant to be, fully and authentically. Imagine for a moment a seed buried deep beneath the soil. It doesn't see the sunlight. It doesn't understand what it's supposed to become. But inside that seed lies an entire oak tree, a magnificent symbol of strength and endurance. The purpose of that seed's existence is to grow into that oak tree, to fulfill its potential. Success in a human context is exactly that process. The unfolding of your inherent capacities, talents, and character into their fullest expression. But here's where it becomes complex. We live in a world obsessed with comparison, social validation, and instant gratification. The culture tells us that success is about outdoing others, accumulating possessions, or climbing a ladder that someone else has built. But that external ladder might not be yours to climb. True success comes from within, from the silent work of understanding who you are and who you can become. It's an internal journey as much as an external achievement. Psychologically, this ties closely to the concept of self-actualization, famously discussed by Abraham Maslow. At the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is the drive to realize one's full potential, to become the best version of oneself. This is not a simple checklist item. It is a lifelong pursuit. It requires introspection, courage, and above all, an unwavering commitment to growth. Profound resonates with the existentialists who argue that life has no predetermined meaning except the one we create through our choices and actions. You are not merely a passenger in your life, you are the author. Success, then, is a measure of how faithfully you write your own story, how honestly you live according to your values and capacities. Consider what it means to fulfill your potential in practical terms. It means recognizing the unique constellation of gifts, interests, and passions you possess and nurturing them. It means pushing past comfort zones and fears because what lies on the other side is growth. It means rejecting the passive life of excuses, distractions, and avoidance. This is hard work. It demands discipline, focus, and resilience. But it also offers a profound reward. The deep satisfaction of knowing that you have become yourself, not a shadow or a copy. This process is inevitably challenging because it forces you to confront your limitations and fears. The path to fulfilling your potential is strewn with doubt, failure, and pain. Yet, paradoxically, it is through facing these trials that the true self emerges stronger and more defined. Think of success not as a destination, but as a continual becoming. A journey in which every step, even the stumbles, shape you. When you align your life with the purpose of fulfilling your potential, success ceases to be a distant, abstract goal. It becomes an ongoing experience. It's waking up every day and asking, what can I do today to be more of who I truly am? It's about integrity, the harmony between your actions and your inner truth. The beauty of this idea is that success becomes deeply personal and uniquely yours. It's not dictated by societal standards. It's about the quiet, often unseen victories of self-mastery, growth, and authenticity. In that sense, success is not something that happens to you. It is something you actively create. So, as you reflect on your own life, ask yourself, are you pursuing success as others define it? Or are you committed to the harder, richer path of fulfilling your own potential. The former might bring temporary satisfaction. The latter builds a life of enduring meaning. In closing, remember this: the purpose of life is not simply to achieve, it is to become the fullest, most authentic expression of yourself. Success is not a trophy to be won, but a life to be lived with courage, discipline, and unwavering commitment to your own growth. Choose to cultivate that oak tree within you, no matter how deep the soil or how long the winter. Because when you do, you step into a power far greater than any external reward, the power of living your true purpose. This is the essence of success. This is the purpose of your life. Without a clear, purposeful vision, success is a hollow pursuit. Purpose gives success direction and significance, goals into meaningful milestones. It's the inner compass that guides you through challenges and keeps you focused on what truly matters. When we speak of success as the purpose of life, it's crucial to understand that this success is not merely about external accomplishments. It is fundamentally about meaningful action. Meaningful action is the bridge between potential and reality, between who you are and who you are becoming. Without action, even the grandest ambitions remain nothing more than dreams. Yet, not all action is equal. To truly succeed, your actions must carry purpose, discipline, and alignment with your deepest values. Consider how often people become paralyzed by indecision or caught up in trivial busyness. The world is noisy, full of distractions, and it's easy to confuse mere activity with meaningful progress. A strong man, or success for that matter, understands that success is not the sum of countless tasks done without direction. It is the product of deliberate, purposeful actions that move you toward your defined goals. This idea ties deeply into the psychological understanding of motivation and willpower. Motivation is a fleeting thing. It ebbs and flows like the tide. You feel motivated when things are exciting or easy, but what happens when the initial spark fades? That's where discipline and meaningful action come into play. Discipline is the force that sustains your efforts when motivation is absent. It's the commitment to keep acting in alignment with your purpose, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Philosophically, meaningful action is closely connected to the existentialist notion of authentic existence. Existential thinkers like Sartre and Camus remind us that we are condemned to die. To be free, that freedom means we must choose and act without escape. Our existence gains meaning through the actions we take, the commitments we make, except for those choices. In other words, meaning is not given, it is created through engagement with life. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. What actions have moved you closer to success? Which of your activities have felt empty or distracting? This kind of reflection is vital because it helps separate what truly matters from what simply occupies your time. The strong man does not squander his energy on illusions or distractions. He prioritizes, focusing relentlessly on what propels him forward. Meaningful action also demands courage. It requires stepping into the unknown, taking risks, and embracing discomfort. Growth rarely happens in comfort zones. It happens on the edge of uncertainty. This is where the tension lies. Success demands persistent action despite fear, doubt, or external obstacles. It means acting even when the path is unclear or when failure seems possible, because meaningful action is not guaranteed to be easy or safe. It is necessary. We see this truth echoed in the lives of those who have achieved remarkable success. Their stories are rarely about effortless triumphs. They are chronicles of relentless, meaningful action sustained over time. Each small decision, each difficult conversation, each moment of perseverance compounds into a powerful trajectory. This cumulative effect is what transforms potential into reality. Importantly, meaningful action must be rooted in values. Without a clear sense of what you stand for, action can become misguided or hollow. Values serve as the compass that directs your efforts, ensuring that success is not only achieved, but also satisfying and worthwhile. Without this grounding, success may come, but it often feels empty, like a house built on sand. The challenge, then, is twofold: to clarify your values and to translate those values into consistent, purposeful action. This requires introspection, honesty. It calls for the courage to discard behaviors and habits that no longer serve your growth, and to embrace new practices that align with your goals. So where do you start? Begin with small, deliberate actions. The philosopher William James famously said, "Act as if what you do makes a difference." It does. This is the profound truth of meaningful action. Every step counts. Whether it's committing to your morning routine, learning a new skill, or simply being present in your relationships, these small actions accumulate. As you cultivate meaningful action, remember that the process itself is transformative. You are not only working towards success, you are becoming sustaining success. The journey molds your character, builds resilience, and sharpens your sense of purpose. In closing, meaningful action is the lifeblood of success. It is the deliberate, courageous, and value-driven work that turns dreams into reality and potential into achievement. Success is not a passive reward, but an active creation, one that demands your commitment each day, in every moment. Embrace this truth, act with purpose, and watch as your life unfolds into the success you seek. Remember, success begins not in distant outcomes, but in the meaningful actions you choose to take right now. The path to success is neither easy nor instant. It demands relentless discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done, even when motivation fades. It requires sacrifices, often unseen, and a commitment to keep moving forward despite obstacles and failures. When we speak about success, an essential but often overlooked component is the mindset of resilience. Success is not a straight line, nor is it reserved for those who never stumble. Instead, it is for those who learn to rise each time they fall. The ability to endure hardship, to persist in the face of failure, is the hallmark of anyone who truly understands what it means to live a successful life. Psychologically, resilience is more than just bouncing back. It is an active process of adaptation, a conscious engagement with difficulty that transforms adversity into growth. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, encapsulated this beautifully when he said that between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. This space, this moment of choice, is where resilience is born. It's where success is forged, not by avoiding pain, but by choosing to respond to it with courage and meaning. Philosophically, resilience speaks to a deeper truth about the human condition. Life is inherently unpredictable, and suffering is inevitable. No one escapes hardship, but within that inevitability lies freedom. The freedom to decide how we face our circumstances. The resilient person does not deny suffering or pretend it doesn't exist. Instead, they acknowledge it, accept it, and then commit to moving forward anyway. This commitment is an act of will, a declaration that external events do not have the final say over one's destiny. Consider the stories of successful individuals throughout history. They are often punctuated by failures, setbacks, and moments of despair. What separates those who succeed from those who give up is not a lack of obstacles, but the mindset with which they confront them. Resilience allows them to see failure not as a verdict, but as feedback, a necessary and valuable part of the journey. This mindset is rooted in humility and realism. To be resilient, you must first accept the truth of your situation, no matter how difficult. Denial or wishful thinking only delays progress. Facing reality head on, even when it is painful, gives you the clarity to devise solutions, make adjustments, and persist. This acceptance is not defeat, it is the foundation of strength. Moreover, resilience involves a reorientation of purpose. When faced with setbacks, it is tempting to lose sight of why you started. But resilient individuals keep their eyes on the deeper purpose that drives them. This purpose acts like a compass, guiding them through turbulent waters and helping them maintain direction despite chaos. It is the why behind the struggle that fuels the persistence to continue. Importantly, resilience is not an innate trait reserved for a fortunate few. It can be cultivated through practice. One way to build resilience requires sustained passion and perseverance toward long-term goals. Grit helps maintain consistent effort, especially when immediate rewards are absent or failures loom large. It's about staying committed to your vision, even when the path is steep and the progress slow. Another aspect of resilience is cultivating a growth mindset, a concept popularized by Carol Dweck. People with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow rather than threats to their self-worth. This perspective shifts failure from something to fear to something to embrace as part of personal development. But resilience also requires self-compassion. It's important to recognize that setbacks don't diminish your value as a person. Rather than harsh self-criticism, a resilient mindset involves gentle encouragement and realistic self-talk. This balance between accountability and kindness helps maintain motivation and prevents burnout. We often think of strength as being rigid or unyielding, but resilience reveals that true strength is more like bamboo, flexible, adaptable, and able to bend without breaking. This flexibility allows you to navigate the inevitable storms of life without losing your integrity or purpose. At a practical level, resilience means developing habits and routines that support mental and emotional endurance. This can include mindfulness practices, physical exercise, seeking social support, and setting realistic goals. These strategies build a buffer against stress and help you recover more quickly when adversity strikes. To put it simply, the path to success is strewn with obstacles, failures, and disappointments. The resilient person doesn't deny this reality. They embrace it. They cultivate the strength to face difficulty head on, learn from it, and keep moving forward. This mindset turns challenges into stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. So, what does this mean for you? It means that success is not about never failing. It's about refusing to be defeated. It's about understanding that setbacks are part of the process and that your response to those setbacks determines your future. You are not powerless in the face of adversity. You hold the power to choose resilience, to find meaning in struggle, and to transform hardship into growth. In closing, resilience is the quiet force behind every successful life. It is the capacity to endure, adapt, and rise again when the world knocks you down. If you want to succeed, embrace this truth. Your ability to withstand hardship and pursue the purpose is not just a skill. It is the very essence of success itself. Reflect on this. Every setback you face is an invitation to cultivate resilience. Will you answer the call? Success is not a static state, but a dynamic process of growth. It comes from learning through setbacks, adapting to change, and developing resilience. Each failure is a lesson, each struggle a stepping stone, forging a stronger, wiser individual. When we talk about the purpose of life as success, we often focus on external achievements, wealth, status, recognition, but there is a deeper layer that is less visible, yet far more crucial: the alignment of your values and your actions. Success, in its truest sense, is not merely about reaching a goal, but about living in a way that is consistent with your most profound principles. This harmony between what you believe and what you do is what gives success its meaning, depth, and lasting impact. Psychologically, this alignment creates a sense of integrity, a feeling that you are whole and undivided, that your inner world matches your outer behavior. When your actions contradict your values, it breeds internal conflict, guilt, and a sense of fragmentation. Think about times when you've done something that didn't sit right with you. That uneasy feeling gnaws at you because it signals that you are out of sync with yourself. This dissonance drains energy, clouds judgment, and ultimately undermines true success. Philosophers have long emphasized the importance of living a life guided by principles rather than fleeting desires. Aristotle spoke of eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or well-being, as the ultimate human good, achievable only when we live virtuously. Virtue here isn't just moral righteousness. It's the practice of cultivating excellence in character, courage, honesty, responsibility that makes a life meaningful. The strong man, the truly successful, understands that success is not just what you acquire, but who you become in the process. This alignment is not passive or easy. It requires constant self-examination and courage. It demands that you ask yourself tough questions. Are my daily choices reflecting my deepest values? Am I compromising for convenience or comfort? Am I living authentically? Or am I performing for the approval of others? These questions cut through the noise of external distractions and force you to confront your true self. Living in alignment with your values is also a form of strength. It requires resisting the pressures to conform, to take shortcuts, or to sacrifice long-term integrity for short-term gain. The world often rewards the opposite: expediency, compromise, even deception. But such success is fragile and hollow. Without a solid foundation in your principles, every achievement feels like a house built on sand, unstable, vulnerable to collapse. Moreover, when you live aligned with your values, your success becomes a source of inspiration and contribution. People sense authenticity. They are drawn not just to what you've done, but to the strength of your character. This creates a ripple effect. Your integrity encourages others to find their own. Success then transcends personal gain and becomes a force for positive change in the world. But how do you cultivate this alignment? It begins with clarity. You must identify your core values, those non-negotiable truths that define who you are and what you stand for. This might include honesty, compassion, excellence, freedom, or any principle that resonates deeply with you. Writing these down, reflecting on moments when you felt most alive or proud, can help reveal these guiding lights. We embody those values daily. This means setting standards for your behavior. It means making decisions that might be uncomfortable, but are necessary for your integrity. It means saying no to things that pull you off course, even if they seem appealing. It is a discipline that requires vigilance and humility. Importantly, this is a dynamic process. Your values can evolve as you grow, and life will test them. Sometimes you will fail to live up to them. And when that happens, true success involves acknowledging your shortcomings, learning, and recommitting. This cycle of reflection and correction is part of what deepens your character and propels you forward. There is also a profound psychological benefit here. When your actions align with your values, you experience what Carl Jung described as individuation, the process of becoming your true self. This journey towards wholeness is where success finds its deepest meaning. It is not just an external accomplishment. In practical terms, this means that if your purpose is success, it must be defined or social recognition. It must be anchored in the question, what kind of person do I want to be? Success then becomes the natural byproduct of living a life that reflects your highest ideals. To ignore this alignment is to invite emptiness. You might achieve fame, wealth, or power, but without congruence between your values and actions, these achievements will ring hollow. You'll find yourself chasing after more, never feeling satisfied, disconnected from a sense of true purpose. So consider this deeply. Success is not simply the destination. It is the journey of embodying your values in every step you take. It is the courage to live authentically, to stand firm in who you are, even when the world pushes back. It is the daily choice to align your life with what matters most to you. In closing, ask yourself, are you building your success on the foundation of your deepest principles, or are you sacrificing your integrity for superficial gains? Because the lasting success, the kind that fills your life with meaning and inspires others, can only come from one place: living in true alignment with your values. Let that be your guide, your challenge, and your motivation. Because in the end, the purpose of life is not just to succeed, but to succeed as the truest, most authentic version of yourself. The ultimate purpose of success transcends personal gain. It is about making a meaningful difference in the lives of others. Success that does not uplift, inspire, or contribute to something greater is incomplete. A truly successful life leaves behind a legacy of positive impact. When we talk about the purpose of life as success, there is a crucial dimension that often gets overlooked: the recognition that success is not a static achievement, but a continuous process of growth, resilience, and renewal. It's easy to think of success as a final destination, a summit reached, or a trophy earned. But true success, the kind that nourishes the soul and shapes your identity, is fundamentally dynamic. It demands that you continually reinvent yourself, face new challenges, and adapt without losing sight of your core purpose. This perspective requires a shift in how we understand failure and setbacks. Society tends to treat failure as something to be avoided at all costs, a sign of inadequacy or defeat. But in the landscape of meaningful success, failure isn't just a possibility, it's a part of the process, not a detour, but a step on the very path you must walk. And while it may not feel welcome, failure often carries with it the seeds of our greatest growth, if we're willing to approach it with honesty and courage. Each stumble offers something: a new perspective, a challenge to rise, and an invitation to become more than we were. Psychologically, this idea is supported by what researchers call post-traumatic growth. It's a phenomenon in which people come through adversity not diminished, but deepened. Their compassion expands, their inner strength grows, and their sense of meaning sharpens. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist, reminded us that the task of life isn't to avoid pain, it's to find purpose through it. To find purpose through it, the ability to turn hardship into healing, to turn suffering into strength, is not just admirable, it's transformative. It's what makes success real, lasting, and humane. Growth doesn't arrive in a straight line. It comes in seasons, periods of change, discomfort, and recalibration. These times often test your patience and your sense of direction. It may feel as though you're falling behind or losing ground, but it's often in these quieter, harder moments where nothing seems to be happening on the surface that something powerful is taking shape beneath it. This is where the foundation of resilience is laid. And this, quietly and steadily, is where meaningful success begins. Although success in this light isn't defined by status or spotlight, it's defined by who you become. It shapes your character, expands your understanding, and teaches you how to move through life with grace and steadiness. It gives you the strength to make difficult decisions, to remain grounded when uncertainty strikes, and to act with clarity when the way forward is unclear. Real success is less about appearing strong in a way that serves not only you but others around you. Oh, this understanding goes back centuries. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said, No man ever steps in the same river twice. His words remind us that life is fluid, ever changing, and that trying to resist change only leads to suffering. True strength isn't found in clinging to what was, but in learning to flow with what is without losing your center. The people who thrive are not the ones who avoid change, but the ones who grow alongside it, integrating each experience into a wiser and more anchored self. Success, then, is not a fixed endpoint. It's a moving horizon. It asks us to remain learners, always open to what's next. To keep saying, there's more to understand, there's room to grow. That kind of humility isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's the humility that keeps you growing and the curiosity that keeps you alive. But let's be clear, this journey is not meant to be solitary. We grow best when we grow together, surrounding yourself with people who believe in your potential, who offer challenge and support in equal measure, creates an environment where real transformation can take root. We need one another to listen, to guide, and to remind us of who we're capable of becoming. Success that matters is never selfish. It contributes, it lifts, it connects. And none of this means abandoning who you are. Growth isn't about becoming someone else. It's about stepping more fully into who you're meant to be. It's about refining your values, strengthening your integrity, and learning how to express them through your actions. Without a core principles, growth can feel directionless. But with clarity and conviction, it becomes a powerful force for good. Not just in your own life, but in the lives you touch. B-U-T. So what does this look like in real life? Start with self-reflection. Ask yourself where you're resisting growth, where fear might be holding you back, or where you need to slow down and listen more closely. Then take one step forward, one honest conversation, one new habit, and seek out relationships that encourage you to keep going when the way gets difficult, because we'll get difficult. But that's not a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're in the process. Real growth asks for patience, compassion, and courage. And through that effort, you won't just achieve success, you'll embody it. So if there's one idea to carry with you, let it be this: success isn't a finish line. It's a practice. It's how you meet life every day, how you rise when you fall, how you grow when you're stretched, and how you continue becoming quietly, steadily, the person you are meant to be. Let that truth guide you, because in the end, what matters most is not what you've collected, but who you've become.